Welcome back, class 10. Continuing with your civics class, today we are going to study about the Vice President of India. The Constitution provides for a Vice President whose office is comparatively insignificant. Comparatively, the Vice President's office is insignificant. But there is an office, and since there is an office, we have to study. Qualifications for election. In order to be elected as Vice President, a person must be number 1, citizen of India. Number 2, must not be less than 35 years of age. Minimum age should be 35. Must be qualified for election as a member of the Rajya Sabha. And of course, he should not hold any office of profit under the government of India or government of any state. Now, is the term of office? For how many years a person can remain the Vice President of India? Normal term of office of the Vice President is 5 years. However, he continues to hold office until his successor, the next Vice President, elected Vice President, enters upon his office. The Vice President may resign from his office before the expiry of the term by writing to the President. The Vice President may resign from the office by writing to the President. Removal from office. The Vice President may be removed by a resolution of the Rajya Sabha, passed by a majority of the members and agreed to by the Lok Sabha. A resolution will be passed in the Rajya Sabha first, then it will go to the Lok Sabha and it will be passed over there also. It should be noted that there is no provision for impeachment of the Vice President. If you remember, the process of removal of the President is known as impeachment. But this process of impeachment is not implemented while the Vice President is removed. Emoluments and allowances. While salary in 2008 was 1,25,000 per month, he is also entitled to a pension at the rate of 50% of the salary. Whatever salary the Vice President used to get, 50% of that salary, he will receive it as pension. When the Vice President discharges the functions of the President, he ceases to perform the duties of a chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Once he retires or evacuates the office under any circumstances, he gives the resignation or something, he will not remain the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. While acting as the President, he shall receive the same emoluments and allowances as the President gets. So, this is it. And election of the Vice President. Method of election of the Vice President is different from that of the President. How? He is elected by an electoral college consisting of the members of the both parliament. So there is a difference, Electoral college of the President, electoral college of the Vice President. Electoral college of the President, if you remember, consisted of number 1, elected members of the both houses of the parliament and elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state, if you remember that. While the electoral college of the Vice President consists only the members of the both houses of the parliament. The election will be by the method of proportional representation with a single transferable vote. Powers and functions. Now, the Constitution confers upon means gives the Vice President the following functions and duties. Number one, normal functions of Vice President is to act as the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So, who is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha? The Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. As chairman of the Rajya Sabha, he, number one, regulates the debates and proceedings of the House and decides the order of speeches. So, he regulates the discipline of the Rajya Sabha. Number two, he decides the admissibility of a resolution or of question, whether a resolution will be passed or a question should be asked or not, he decides. And number C, he may suspend or adjourn the business of the House in case of a grave disorder. If there is a grave disorder, unrest, quarrel, the Vice President adjourns the House. The Vice President, as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, is entitled to vote only when there is a tie. Obviously, when there is a tie regarding any decision, the Vice President will cast his vote. In case of equality of votes against a proposal, such vote is known as casting vote. In the case of President also, it was in the case of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, it was also there, casting vote. Over here, the Vice President is the presiding officer of or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. In his case also, there is a casting vote. The Vice President will take over the office of the President normally under these situations. The Vice President takes over the office of the President during what conditions? Number one, death of the President. Number two, resignation of the President. Number three, removal of the President. Or number three, when the President, owing to absence of illness or any other cause, is unable to discharge his functions. Now, one interesting point, in the event of the President's death, resignation or removal, the Vice President acts as President until a new President is elected and enters upon his office. Until a new President is elected and enters his office, the Vice President will act as the President. So this is all in chapter 2. So in chapter 2, the Union Executive, we have learnt about the President and the Vice President. In the next chapter, which is again Union Executive, we will learn about the Prime Minister, the Union Cabinet and the Council of Ministers. Now your work is to go through this chapter thoroughly and solve all the short questions and long questions. Look at the book and solve it. And then memorize it. Because this is a very, 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 very important chapter, President and the Vice President. Each year, some sort of question, whether it is a short question, whether it is a long question, it comes for your ICSE examination. And you should be aware of all the functions of the President of India, qualification, term of office, procedure of impeachment, vacancy of the office of the President, procedure of election, electoral college of the President, then oath of the office, then under the President you have to know about his executive powers, you have to know about his military powers, legislative powers, financial powers, emergency powers, discretionary powers. And you have to know the actual position of the President in a parliamentary setup. What is his actual position? Constitutional head, nominal head, the President requires to exercise the powers with the aid or advice of the Council of Ministers. This you have to know. And under the Vice President of India, you have to know his qualification, term of office, removal, election, and powers and functions of Vice President of India. So this is all basically for today. With this, we come to the end of chapter 2. At the next class, we will start chapter 3, which is also Union Executive, where we'll discuss about the Prime Minister, the Union Cabinet, and the Council of Ministers. Thank you for today.